Welcome to In the Moment with Stephen Cipes, a weekly conversation of exploration filled with fun, funny, mysterious, intriguing, revealing, engaging, eye-opening, and educational topics of discussion. When we are in the moment, we never know what we're going to get. We're not teaching, we're talking. We're not educating, we're exploring. When we are in the moment, we are open. We are one. We are all one, forever beings. Indeed.
Welcome back, everyone, to In the Moment with Stephen Cipes. I am your co-host, Matthew Jensen, and I'm here with my brother, Stephen Cipes.
Thank you, Matthew. And thank you all so much for coming back here to the beautiful Summerhill Pyramid where we podcast, I should say. I was fanning the computer up to the apex so you can all see this 4-story chamber, if you will, but it broke our connection twice. So I'm not going to do it again.
Don't do it.
No.
It's not worth it.
No, but I wish you were all here with me in the pyramid. It's a special, beautiful place. The precisionness of it, the alignment of it. It just makes clarity. I love being here. It's like automatic meditation. It's beautiful to be here. And in this chamber, it's easy to invite other entities and other people from different realms and different times. It's quite a place to be, and that's the subject of this whole podcast, is being in the moment. Yeah, the word being is a powerful word. We make our reality from moment to moment in quantum physics, and this is what we've discovered, and this is a beautiful thing to know how powerful we are and how grand we are. So, yeah, I welcome you all again here, and I think you're going to have a very exciting bunch of subjects today. Now I hear a big beep. What was that beep?
I don't know what that was. Actually, I've got everything disabled right now, so I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Hopefully we're still recording.
Yep, we are.
Apropos to being in the moment and quantum physics, I wrote a letter last night, and I was wondering if you'd be okay, brother, if I just mention a few excerpts from it.
Please, I've read the letter and it's absolutely wonderful. So I think it's totally apropos for what we're talking about. And please share.
It's something that upset me, and not a lot of things upset me because I'm kind of in the moment with everyone and everything, because we're all one and so on. But this fighting in Israel and the loss of the lives of children, innocent children, with bombing and all this, was caused by, I think, a decision that a judge made to evict a family without giving them any compensation or a place to live. They're basically thrown out on the street, and I think that's not something we humans can do. So I don't want to read the whole letter because it's written to Mr. David Cooper, Vice President of the Government Relations Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs in Ottawa, Canada. So basically, he represents Canada in Israel. And I'll skip the first few paragraphs. I'll just come down to, from what we understand from the CBC News, when the fighting first began, it was retaliation for a local judge's court ruling to evict a non-Jewish family on the Gaza Strip who had been in residence for many years to make way for a new multifamily complex to house Israel's expanding population. This eviction put the family on the street without any compensation or offer to replace their residence in the new complex. In humanitarian oneness consciousness, this decision is a violation of the singular right for every family to have a home of their own, a holy place where they may enjoy peace and quiet and health and joy. Apology is the key to peace, for it opens our hearts and invites dialogue and communication and healing. I respectfully submit that we Canadians, who cherish that we are a melting pot of expatriates, set forth a plea to the government of Israel to make a public apology to the family that was evicted, and an offering of compensation to them. In addition, to declare that the judge who made the decision be relieved of their duty as judge, and so on. So, yeah, this is to me, you know, I could one more paragraph which was above all these. I talk about there are none amongst us better than any others. We are all equal and we are eternally connected, which is now scientifically confirmed through quantum physics, the grandness of being in the moment. In this oneness, which is the prophesied law of one, there is forgiveness and realization of self, capital S self. In this oneness, there is deep apology to others and to ourselves. In this oneness, there is letting go, letting God, Hashem, Jesus, Allah, Krishna, and so on. In this moment, there is eternal peace and joy and rejoicing to be on our splendid blue-green playground, spinning in our glorious forever universe. In this oneness, we realize our grandness as one with all there is, microcosms of the macrocosm. So I realize that these things may be a little heady for a letter to a representative of Canada, but it is the basics. It is
Yeah.
who we really are. And people, scratch their heads, and I've been scratching my head since I'm a little boy. Who the heck are we? What is this glorious universe we're in? Look at the stars, look at the sun, look at the plants, look at the animals. Wow, we're just, in heaven here. It's so beautiful.
Hmm.
It's so great that we can experience it and feel it and are it. That's the beauty of it. So, Matthew, did you have any other comments on that one?
No, just the only other thing that it seemed to have some far-reaching effects. I heard uh, that there was possibly a bombing in the Jewish section of a predominantly Jewish section of New York.
Yes, I heard that too. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is another 9/11 and could trigger, God forbid, another war, or a war on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
So I haven't heard anything on the news this morning. So hopefully it
Okay.
was
Good.
just a small skirmish. But it could easily escalate. The anger is very real. And there are those who are saying things like there'll never be an answer to it. The Arabs and the Jews are going to fight forever, and they always have, and they always will, blah, blah, blah. But I see there is an answer to it, a beautiful answer. And this is our opportunity to have that answer come through based on apology. It's as simple as that. We have
Hmm.
all trespassed against each other, and that's not cool. We are one with each other. We should be brothers and sisters, especially Arabs and Jews. They came from the same father, Abraham.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
two different mothers. I mean,
Yeah.
hello, Abraham. Come on back here. We want you here in the pyramid.
Right.
Hey, come over here. Speak to us, brother.
Yeah. Tell us, what should we do?
Yeah.
Um, I guess just one more thing on this topic is, so you know in your heart what you would like to see happen, and how it made you feel, and presumably I feel the same way, and others I'm sure do as well. What would be, outline what you would see a potential outcome, a positive outcome in this situation looking like?
Well, first of all, there's an exchange of energy that could happen.
Mm,
There's a lot of real estate there, and the real estate is valuable. And you don't have to take things away from people. That's like little children, preschool. They grab stuff that's not theirs, and the other kid
hmm.
starts to cry, right,
Right.
and gets angry. I mean, that's
Yeah.
how low this is vibrationally. There's compensation. There's treaties that uphold the dignity of each one of us as individuals, and gives us equality. There's all those wonderful things that we can do. All we have to do is make up our minds to do it, and that starts with an apology. We've both
Yeah.
trespassed against each other. We've all trespassed against each other, and forgiveness is one of the most beautiful words. Yeah, patience with each other. Love is a tired word, of course, but it works. It is, hold a brand new baby, and it doesn't matter whether they're, Chinese or Arab or Jewish or whatever they are. They are a baby. They are a
Yeah.
beautiful baby. That heart is beating. Look at that beautiful thing we have here in our hands, right?
No.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we're all equal, and there's a way here. I mean, I have some ideas that would involve Ethiopia. I went to
Mm,
Ethiopia 2 years ago and found it to be a lush, beautiful farming land. You know, I'm a farmer, so I saw
yeah,
ways to grow food for millions of people there. And I thought, whoa, what an oasis this is. Why get all cramped down in Israel where there's so much fighting? Let's break out into an open new area. And
sure.
Ethiopia would probably welcome that,
Yeah.
right? So, but, you know, I was considered, what are you talking about, Steve? You know,
I bet you hear that a lot.
maybe so.
Yeah.
But yeah, territory is just another thing. It's just another illusion. Uh,
Yeah.
the
Good
Jew,
point.
the, yeah, the Jewish people don't need to be in Israel. It's not the Holy Land. The whole existence, the whole planet is holy. Every single person is holy.
It's a
Every place,
profound statement.
every place is holy. There is no
Yeah.
more holy place than any other.
Very profound.
Oh,
Uh, one more question about this, and then we'll move on to something else. But
yes,
so you took the step yourself of you were inspired to, and you wrote a letter.
yes.
What can the rest of us do to try to facilitate a positive outcome in this situation?
Well, I think we have Canadians have stood up and offered $25 million to the Arab community to help them get on their feet, and I think that's a wonderful gesture on behalf of humanity. And I think
Yeah,
Canada does stand for humanity.
absolutely.
So does a lot of other countries. So do a lot of other countries, and so do most of the people in the world. But there are some. Let's not go there. But yeah,
Fair enough.
we're doing a lot. The most important thing, I think, is for each of us to start coming from our hearts. This is the thing: is to be in the moment and to not depend on corporations or governments. We have to depend on ourselves, and then
Yeah,
we automatically spring forth our beautiful ideas. They come through us. Conduits of spirit is who we are. We are
yeah,
all conduits of spirit or conduits of source. In a way, we are all divine and all one forever beings. It's that kind of thing. So that for us to give away our power to corporations and government narrows it down to, at the end of the day, fighting and greed. Because the politicians, bless all their hearts,
yeah.
they have a grab bag, right?
Right.
If the United States, I heard yesterday, was giving Israel $750 million, if one of those dollars goes into the pocket of a politician,
Hmm.
$1, right? It's
Yeah.
an aberration to all the world, in my opinion. And there's no way, realistically, that we can protect that. I'd much rather see the hearts of the people rise up. There's a movement here, a grassroots movement that
Hmm.
David Suzuki, bless his heart, soul, mind, and body, put on the table. You know, he
Mm.
calls it the Blue Planet, and he and I have been working together with grassroots ideas for how to save the environment and how to save, you know, our magnificence of what we have on the planet. It's happening. It's happening beautifully.
Sure is.
This is what's happening now. Yeah, I'm very positive about it. I'm very excited about it. It's happening a little slower than I had hoped. The pandemic has boosted it quite nicely,
Yeah.
but it's got a long ways to go. But it's happening, and I'm thrilled about it. I think there's great potential. We were and probably are past the point of no return. Our
Hmm.
planet is suffering at a phenomenal rate. Unbelievable. If I would go into some of the details, you would not believe it. Our food is processed so that it doesn't give our bodies the chance to be conduits of spirit. It dumbs
Hmm.
us down. We are basically dumbed down. Food
Speak
production,
for yourself.
well,
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
food production is my biggest thrust right now because
Yeah.
it is the vitality that makes us be able to communicate with spirit or source. and bring about the changes that only we can do
Hmm.
as humanity. Again, a grassroots movement. So yes, I think the time is now for us to take back our power, our oneness, our holy oneness. Yeah,
Absolutely agreed.
thank you.
You touched on quite a few topics that all sort of commingle with one another, and things that you and I've talked about recently, like this idea that we are in the midst of what many are referring to as the Great Awakening. And a lot of people are coming into an understanding, which is wonderful for us to see. I mean, for a couple of years ago, we were working on ideas relating to collective consciousness and hoping to bring that idea to the forefront. And now it seems to just be so prevalent. And another thing I noticed is that one of the, you know, one of the big things that we hope for is that any darkness will be brought to light, and being brought to light means you now have a chance to know the truth and you can deal with it, right?
Yes,
And we've seen that in another event that occurred actually on our side of the border this past week,
yes,
which is with the situation that has unfolded in Kamloops.
yes.
And I wonder if you wanted to just speak to that idea of,
Sure.
number one, darkness coming to light, and number
Yes.
two, what can we do in that situation?
Thank you for that opening that subject because it's very dear to my heart as well. I mean, discovering the graves of 215 children near the residential school here in Kamloops, which is only an hour away from where we are now,
Hmm.
opens up this subject of genocide, which is going on in the world today at a colossal rate.
Mm.
Today, I won't mention names of countries, but there are millions of people who are being operated on to remove their sexual reproduction chemistry so that they cannot reproduce.
Mm.
That is a way of genocide
Yeah.
without killing the people. And it's an aberration to humanity. The aberration to humanity of the residential school, again, was in turning it over to the government to cleanse people that were here and make them think the way we think as
Hmm.
new settlers back in those years. And the cruelty there was unbelievable. I mean, the torture that those children had to go through. And I've heard some of the stories directly. I've been very close to my, my, my brothers and sisters here in the indigenous world. So, I mean, just I got a letter from my partner on the Butterfly Garden Memorial Park that we are developing.
Hmm.
Barbara, she's a licensed undertaker, and her sister has the Butterfly Memorial Park for Children in
Mm.
Ontario. And she said, Stephen, why don't we offer to make a plaque for all those children from the residential school
Hmm.
and have some and have it displayed in our memorial park here at Summer Hill. We dedicated an 8-acre parcel in the middle of our 80 acres to be just a memorial park, basically for children, but now it's for all ages.
Yeah.
And we were gifted a most beautiful honor to have a sacred kakuli, which is the original pit house or the
Hmm.
original earth ship
Yeah.
that the First Nations people used in the winter. The families would stay there while the winter was so harsh, and they built a fire in the middle, which was considered a sacred fire because through that fire, the ancestors would come alive and they would respond to the prayers and the dancing and the singing around the fire. And it's become a beautiful tradition for thousands of years to welcome the ancestors. And they call them the grandmothers and grandfathers. It's very beautiful. So
Yes.
even though the children were only children when they were killed, they are the grandmothers and grandfathers. Okay,
True.
so if it's
Yeah.
any age, they are ancestors, and they come through the fire. So
Mm.
I was responding to Barbara and saying, wouldn't it be beautiful if we had a ceremony of forgiveness and apology and thanks and rejoicing that we are still here, that we loved those children and we all the things that they stood for, and that their lives were not in vain. All those wonderful things that we can express.
Yeah.
And we have the perfect, location to do it. The Kukuli itself can hold, well, over 100 people, but with COVID, we'll keep it under 10 or whatever the regulation is.
Sure.
And we can live stream it, and everyone can be part of it. The drumming and the singing and the dancing around the
Yes.
fire. It'll be a beautiful. I think it'll touch a lot of hearts, a lot of souls. So yes,
Yeah.
I'd like to do it. Yeah,
I'd love to be a part of that. And
thank you.
I mean, I feel like this week's episode is a little bit on the tragedy side.
Well, it is. Yeah, sorry.
No, no, don't be. I mean, this is we got to have balance. Got to have our yin to our yang, and the idea of the memorial garden is part of that balancing process. I feel where you're taking something that is otherwise sad and making it into something that can potentially be happy and
Yes,
celebrate.
yes.
Right?
Celebrating life and the dedication that those children had, and you know what they stood for. It's so beautiful. I don't know if we talk about this too long, but I had the opposite where experience where in the Osirius Nation,
Mm.
my dear friend Moose lives in the actual schoolhouse where the Osirius children went. And the school teacher there was so proud of his students that he took them to visit the Queen of England
Oh my
in
gosh!
England. Yeah, to show off what beautiful children these were and how, rich in heritage and everything. So just the opposite of
Yeah,
the residential schools. So there is a little bit of a scale there. It
yeah,
wasn't all horrible. It wasn't all dark. There was a little bit of light, and
yeah.
I happen to be privileged to be part of that little segment of light. And I have pictures of that teacher who took the students and some of the students
Oh,
to the Queen. So yeah, there's some good light in this too.
that is very nice to hear.
Isn't it nice?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. It's interesting when you're in the moment and you are able to just sort of go with the flow and let your thoughts and your ideas unfold and learn what little parts of each other that we all have to share.
Yes.
And I am very encouraged by some of the ideas that have emerged through this conversation with
Well,
you.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, looking
Brother,
forward to
excuse me, I call you sir.
yeah,
Thank you,
no
brother.
more of that
No,
stir
sir.
business. Yeah, yeah.
That's in me. I have to treat
No,
everybody with respect. I love you so
I
much.
am with you. I am with you. The respect of a brother and the respect of a
Aw.
good sir, right?
Yeah.
So why don't we wrap it up there for this week, and we'll aim for maybe a couple of little bit lighter topics for the next episode.
Okay, good idea, bro. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you all
Love you,
so
brother.
much. Love you,
Thank
brother.
you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.